The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Desiree Chen walked through the crystalline doors. Her boots echoed against the polished floor, each step measured and deliberate. Behind her, Commander James Rodriguez followed, his military uniform pristine despite the 3-week journey through hostile space to reach the Council homeworld. The assembled representatives from 47 species watched with varying degrees of contempt and curiosity. The Krell Overlord, a massive reptilian creature whose species had initiated the unprovoked attack on Earth's colony of New Hope, clicked his mandibles in what passed for laughter among his kind. "The humans dare to appear before us," the Overlord hissed, his translator converting the words into something comprehensible. "After we have crushed their pathetic settlement and claimed their resources, do they come to beg for mercy?" Desiree stopped at the center of the chamber, beneath the floating holographic displays that showed real-time data from across the galaxy. She placed a small device on the floor, and James took his position beside her, his expression unreadable. "We do not beg," Desiree said, her voice cutting through the murmurs. "We come to deliver a message." The Council Arbiter, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline shell, pulsed with what might have been amusement. "You have no authority here, human. Your species was granted provisional membership only 5 cycles ago. You are children among ancients. What message could you possibly deliver that would matter to us?" James activated the device. Holographic images materialized above them, showing the smoking ruins of New Hope Colony. 3,000 human civilians dead, homes destroyed, children who would never grow up. The images shifted, showing Krell warships in orbit bombarding the defenseless settlement from space. 17 days ago, Desiree began, her voice steady despite the rage that burned in her chest. "The Krell Dominion attacked our colony without warning. Without provocation and without declaration of war. They violated every treaty, every law that this council claims to uphold. 3,000 souls murdered for the crime of existing on a world the Krell wanted. A world that rightfully belongs to the Dominion," the Overlord interrupted. "A world we claimed millennia before your species discovered fire. Your presence there was an insult." "An insult," Desiree repeated, her eyes narrowing. "The Council's own records show that world was abandoned 8,000 years ago. Under galactic law, it was open for colonization. We followed every protocol, filed every document, received every approval, and still you attacked." The Arbiter pulsed with irritation. "This Council does not involve itself in territorial disputes between member species. The Krell's claim has merit. Your complaint is noted and dismissed. You may leave." "We're not finished," James said, speaking for the first time. His hand moved to another control on the device. The holographic display changed. Now it showed a Krell military installation, one of their forward operating bases in the contested sector, or rather, what remained of it. Twisted metal and shattered debris floated in space where a massive station had once orbited a gas giant. "What is this?" the Overlord demanded, rising from his seat. "Retaliation," Desiree said simply. More images appeared, one after another. Krell military assets flickered into view, each one reduced to wreckage. Supply depots, warships, communication arrays, manufacturing facilities, 12 major installations obliterated in a coordinated strike. "Impossible," the Overlord roared. "Your species lacks the military capability for such an assault. You have no dreadnoughts, no planet crackers, no quantum disruptors." "You're right," James said, a cold smile touching his lips. "We don't have your weapons. We have ours." The display shifted again, showing sleek human vessels unlike anything the Council had seen before. They were smaller than Krell warships, more maneuverable, and they moved with a precision that spoke of advanced AI coordination. "When humanity joined the galactic community," Desiree continued, "we were told our weapons were primitive. Our kinetic accelerators, our nuclear arsenals, our conventional explosives. The Council laughed at us for still using such crude technology, when you had energy shields and plasma cannons." She gestured to the destroyed installations. "But we learned something interesting during our first 5 years among the stars. Your shields, they're designed to disperse energy. They're magnificent against plasma, against lasers, against particle beams, but against solid matter moving at a significant fraction of light speed?" She paused. "They might as well be tissue paper." The Council chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives from dozens of species began shouting, their translators creating a cacophony of anger, fear, and disbelief. "You are confessing to an act of war," The Arbiter boomed, its crystalline form glowing with rage. No, James corrected. We're confessing to an act of retaliation. There's a difference. The Krell attacked first. We responded. Proportionally, I might add. They killed 3,000 of ours. We destroyed 12 military installations and made sure they were evacuated first. 0 casualties on their side. You dare, the Overlord began. We dare, Desiree interrupted, her voice rising to fill the chamber. Because that's what you don't understand about humanity. We are not the Sivari who will negotiate endlessly while being slowly conquered. We are not the Then who will retreat to their homeworld and hide. We are not the Corvus who will pay tribute to avoid conflict. She took a step forward, and despite herself being barely 5.5 feet tall, every being in that chamber felt the weight of her presence. We are humans, and we have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. We came to this galaxy in peace. We followed your rules, respected your laws, tried to be good neighbors. But when you attack us, when you murder our people, when you think we're weak because we're new, her eyes locked onto the Overlord. That's when you discover exactly how we became the dominant species on a death world, where everything evolved to kill us. James pulled up another display. This is a comprehensive analysis of every major military power in the galaxy. We've run the simulations, factoring in our kinetic weapons, our unconventional warfare tactics, and our willingness to sacrifice for each other, something we've noticed is rare among your species. We calculate a 73% probability of victory in any prolonged conflict. Madness, someone whispered. Confidence, Desiree corrected. We don't want war. We never did, but we will not be victims. The Krell attacked New Hope thinking we would complain to the Council, be ignored and fade away. Instead, we hurt them, badly, and this is our message to everyone in this chamber. She turned slowly, making eye contact with as many representatives as she could. Humanity is willing to coexist peacefully with any species that respects us. We will trade, share knowledge, build alliances, and contribute to galactic civilization. But if you attack us, if you think we're easy prey, if you believe our relative youth makes us weak, you will learn the same lesson the Krell just learned. And what lesson is that? The Arbiter asked quietly. James answered, his voice hard as diamond. That humans don't just get mad. We get even, and we're very, very good at it. The silence that followed was profound. Desiree picked up the device from the floor and tucked it into her jacket. The human delegation will be returning to Earth now, she announced. We'll await the Council's decision on how to proceed. We hope you choose to enforce your own laws and hold the Krell accountable for their unprovoked aggression. But if you don't? She shrugged. We've already shown we're perfectly capable of handling our own justice. As Desiree and James turned to leave, the Overlord found his voice. This is not over, human. The Dominion will not forget this insult. Desiree paused at the doorway and looked back over her shoulder. Good, we're counting on it. The next time you think about attacking a human world, remember those 12 installations. Remember how easily we swept aside your defenses. And ask yourself if whatever you want is worth finding out what we're really capable of when we stop holding back. They left the council chamber behind, and in the silence that followed, 47 species began to reassess everything they thought they knew about the young species from the small blue world. The Galactic Council would deliberate for weeks before officially censuring the Krell and recognizing humanity's right to self-defense. But the real message had already been delivered and received. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage not as victims or supplicants, but as a force to be reckoned with. And the galaxy would never see them the same way again.